My name is Christian Basel. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend. Happy holidays, everyone! One and one, everybody. I think that's how you say it. No. What? No, gosh. It's Dave, shush. I can see you smiling and laughing out there. Yeah. Happy holidays, one and all. Welcome again to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basel, and we've got a special guest here tonight. We got Keith Bradbury from the Who North America. What is that? Well, we're going to tell you. It's America's Doctor Who store. But give you a little more detail. If you haven't seen Keith beforehand, you're going to see now, and you will know what Who North America is. And just in time for the holiday season, if you're trying to get somebody that special Doctor Who merchandise, tonight is the night that you're going to get a little help from our friends there at Who North America. You can check them out, www.hwona.com. Thank you all for joining us, and happy holidays. Welcome again to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Let's go ahead and get things started out here. No Melanie tonight, so Dave's going to be taking on your chats, so good luck to all of us all around here.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Happy holidays,
here's the thing. I'm in control, so I can do that. I can just take him right out of the chat, out of the stream, and I can just take over. There he's back, though.
Well, you're killing me.
Shenanigans.
So have the folks welcome there. My name's Christian Basel. If you're joining us for the first time, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel. This is great. That's what we're going to be starting out with. Tick, 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 tick. And there we go. And hashtag, the hashtag guru is here. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and get things started. Dave, how you doing there, my friend? Welcome. Thank you, my friend.
Not bad. I'm going to take that out because now I can't do two things at once. Well, I can, but it works out terribly, as we discovered on last Wednesday when I had my show.
Oh, yeah, I got to see a part of it. Yeah, if you haven't checked Dave out there, you guys are playing a game. I kind of had to come in and out, so I think it was like Santa.
It was the game system is called Parsley, as in text parser, like Oregon Trail, Zork, all of that. But instead of a computer replying to your Go North, it's person. So I had Jared Sorensen on there. We chatted. He created the system, and then he ran us through Kringle Crisis. I gave a couple copies of that away. And it was a ton of fun. It went really well. I had Andy Looney from Looney Labs, who does Doctor Who Flux. And I had Caitlin, who does some reviews for me. And yeah, we went a couple of hours because it was just fun.
I know.
Unfortunately, Nisha wasn't able to make it. the joy of being a medical professional. She was just unavoidably detained.
Yeah.
But we'll have her on another time.
I know.
Again, she's too fun.
I'm hoping she'll be back next week because we're going to have our big celebration, which is going to be the last episode of the year for the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. So we're going to be celebrating. Speaking of celebrating, let's go ahead and bring in our next guy, Mr. Tom Kosak. You know him as the hashtag guru. How you doing there, Tom?
His mic is off.
Hey, man, you babbling boob.
There you go.
Oh, that was me. I did turn off my mic. Hello there.
You. Tom, how you doing there, my friend?
I'm doing. Cody. I did get another Turkish delight, so I can review that too.
Oh. After you're done eating the chocolate, you can use the rest of it as a soap. Seriously.
So when you see my facial expression later on, you know what happened. You know?
There you go. Yeah. There. Well, without further ado,
all the conversations in the chat here.
Oh, they're saying hi to each other. I love it there. Speaking of saying hi, we're going to bring in our special guest tonight. We got Keith Bradbury from
WHO North America.
How you doing there, Keith? Welcome. Thanks for coming. Look, I'm
doing fine.
You need like an annex in Florida. That's all I'm saying. You need like a separate store in Florida.
I'd have to clone myself. That would be a problem.
That's you. And when you clone yourself and come down here to Florida, I'm just going to build my house right next to you, so I can just walk over and just grab it.
There you go.
Take my money. Here's my rent for this week. How you doing, Keith? Thank you so much.
I'm doing fine.
How's the store been doing since the holidays?
It's been well. We had a really big event at the end of October called Oktoberfest. That really kind of kicked things off, and then this month, of course, getting ready for Christmas and all that. So there's been a lot of things going on with lots of sales and stuff and customers. So I mean, it's been busy. We had some new action figures come in. We just got some in from B&M stores in the UK. So yeah, it's been busy. Lots of stuff going out, shipping.
No, I think I know the answer to this. If you have a product that somebody on here on our streaming service wants to check out, they can order from your store, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Most things are available on our website. Yes. There are a few exceptions, but most things are available. Yes.
Oh, so, well, Keith has been gracious enough to, people have been looking for that special something for that special hooving of theirs. And Keith is going to be helping us out there, and he's going to be demonstrating some of the items that he's got in the store. So before we begin there, just for folks who may not be familiar with it, Tom, what are you doing?
he's playing Mr. Burns, and then I started doing it.
I'm watching Dave. I usually impersonate Dave, and he's doing that to me now.
Cool. An ood. Keith, for people who may not be familiar with your establishment, tell them a little bit about that for folks who may be coming in for the very first time to check it out. Where are you located? All that good stuff.
Yeah, well, WHO North America is actually America's biggest Doctor Who store, dedicated solely to Doctor Who. We really don't carry anything else. You're not going to come here and find Marvel or Star Wars or Star Trek or anything like that. Other than our game. So it's like we're really just Doctor Who. We've been around since 1998, so 24 years in business. We're just outside of Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a town called Canby. We used to be inside the belt, but now we're outside the belt because we bought our own property, and this is our building. So 24 years in business. Next year's 25. So our 25th anniversary falls on the 60th year anniversary of the television show. So it's kind of exciting.
Nice.
We'll get that. We got a comment from TARDIS Spider says we'll be making the trip up to WHO North America in about 3 weeks, dude.
I know. We're looking forward to you coming up here
for the holidays there. And really,
there's the official review.
It is. It does a little bit. You could probably put a wick candle inside and burn it. So I'm just saying there, and I want to say hi to Mark Robinson. Hi guys. Has anyone seen the giant candy cane forest?
Nope. Can't say that I have.
No, I haven't either. So I would say just a quick hello to the repeats. We got Ramona. We got there's Keith. Yeah, it's actually there we go. Anyway, he's in the chat here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's what we're trying to get. We're almost there. 3,000 subscribers. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you covered him up before he got out there. Who do we got? Wait,
we got Petrie. Petrie, look, Petrie. Aww. Petrie likes being famous, but then likes running away, pretending he doesn't like being famous.
Got a comment in. Let me go ahead and pull up this comment from Mark. Mark says, "How the hell, Keith, have got the BM stock. Some of us in the UK have been hunting for the first Doctor in the TARDIS for ages.
Yeah, it's an interesting story there, and I'll give you a little bit of insight to what I've found out, because we have someone in the UK who handles a lot of these kind of things for us. And from what I understand and what I've been told, now, of course, this is what I've been told. I'm not passing this off as factual, but the average B&M store only got a case of 6 of this figure set, and that's it. And our guy made an arrangement, long before it came out, to have a significant stock sent to one specific store to collect those to get over to us that the B&M store worked with. Well, somebody went in there and impersonated him and gotten our entire allotment, which put us. They took the whole amount that we were supposed to get. And so that was why we only got this figure yesterday, because I don't know if they realized their mistake, but whoever it was, I mean, I'm sure they went and paid for it. But basically, I guess they went in and said, I think you're holding some for me. And they took every last one that we had, that was supposed to come to us. So again, I'm not entirely sure all the details of why they're only putting 6 in a given store. Of course, if you only put 6 in a store like B&M, 6 people walk in, they walk out, or they take 2 or 3, 2 people walk in and take them all, who knows? So that's one of the reasons why they're hard to get. And we've been making a kind of a long time arrangement. And so it was kind of surprising that we had to go through the whole extra thing, because our guy then was scrambling just to find some after that, couldn't find them anywhere. But really got onto the case of that store, and that store, I guess, pulled through and was able to supply us. But yeah, I'm not sure why they're having such a hard time restocking. I don't know the numbers on this thing. Of course, if anybody is wondering what we're talking about, it's the First Doctor and TARDIS set with David Bradley. This is the first time David Bradley has been made into a Doctor Who action figure. This is an electronic TARDIS. Now, a lot of the other Doctor and TARDIS combinations have been non-electronic TARDISes. So this is kind of special in the sense that you're both an electronic TARDIS, and it's got a kind of cool weathering look. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. It's kind of weathered. And David Bradley is there in all his handsome glory. If you can focus in, my thing will go in and out of focus on that, I'm afraid. But that's kind of neat. That's why this figure is so highly sought after. Most of the other figures that get released from B&M exclusives are just repaints of existing molds. So yeah, you've had the like, for example, the 13th Doctor set. This is a totally new repaint of the 13th Doctor, but it's the same mold. Same with our Yaz figure. And then we've got the Weeping Angels that are in 2 forms. You've got both the weeping version, the calm face version, and the screaming version. And it's cast in this kind of translucent blue plastic. So there are 2 versions of this, and I missed that when they came out. So when I listed it, I didn't realize that there's a variant in the Angels, but apparently there's about 50-50 on those. So we do have it now where you can identify which one you're looking for if you're trying to find the regular Angel or the Weeping Angel version. So
now we put it in the chats just in case, and we'll be repeating it through the chats and throughout the night. www.whona.com. That's whona.com, stands for Who North America. There you go.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, we've got a commercial break, but what I want to do is to start off the commercials. Dave, did you want to run the commercial that Keith has provided us?
We can do that. This one right here.
And this is about Doctoberfest, which happened last month. So I just let everybody know this is a big event we do every year. And so if anybody's interested about a big event that we take, then they want to come visit us during that Doctoberfest, which takes place on a Saturday shortly before Halloween. So here you go.
And Mackenzie Fleur has definitely raved about it. So
yeah, she's in this too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, she's been there.
So Doctoberfest is our big event that we have every year. And in it, we invite some guests who come in and do some panels. We also have costume contests. And we have different things going on both in our store and at a nearby hotel. And we provide free shuttle service between the 2 locations. There's vendors going on there at the hotel. And you don't need a day badge to either shop or come into the vendor hall or anything like that. You just need the badge to see the Zoom Zoom call guests and the different panels that take place. So this year we had a lot of people in costume. It was a lot of fun. We also had some different people from the UK who Zoom called in, and so you can see some just pictures of different people who are involved in all of that. And then we also had some authors and book signings going on. Russell McGee from Big Finish did some stuff with us too. He's also an author and written some stuff. And we had like some really cool vendors that were doing some stuff. That's our new Dalek that we introduced this one of the authors who was there. Then you can see we had some real props that were from the show that were on display. And then we also had toy customization. Even had a customization contest, a costume contest. We had all kinds of cool things going on throughout the day, even a shoebox diorama contest and a Punch and Judy show. So lots of cool things take place at Doctoberfest.
And there we go. You can go to commercial.
You got it there. I just had a quick question. Are you going to be doing anything into the new year that's similar to Doctoberfest so people can get ready?
Well, we will be doing, of course, Doctoberfest this year. We'll be ramping up for that pretty big. We've been tossing around some ideas about possibly doing something else during the year. At this time, we can't make any announcements yet because we're still kind of playing around with that. So
that's fair enough.
Yep.
Right. Well, when we return, we're going to be talking to Keith and going to be taking a tour of WHO North America in just a few moments. When we return, please just continue to stay logged on, tuned in, become part of the book, become part of the legend. Be right back.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you, the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Happy holidays to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basel. We have our special guest, Keith Bradbury from WHO North America. We have the hashtag guru himself, Tom Kozak, and Dave Chapman from the rathole.ca. Welcome, everybody. Happy holidays to you. Yep. It's almost that time.
I'm suddenly sad.
You're suddenly sad? Why?
I'm suddenly sad because Argentina beat Croatia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am not following the World Cup really at all, but Canada was in the groups with Croatia, Morocco, and Belgium. So number 2 in the world, unscored on Morocco except for us. And I was really hoping for like Morocco-Croatia final so we could say, yeah, we were in a group with, but
so-and-so. There you go.
Yeah. Exactly. Would have been nice. Anyways, I just found that out during the commercials, so now I'm sad.
Don't forget to like,
And,
share,
you know,
subscribe, and
outside.
chat. Get your chats on if you have any questions for Keith or anybody on the team right now. And welcome, please, by all means. So, Keith, without further ado, I'm going to let you take control of the TARDIS and take us around where you would like to go or what you.
I was going to show you a couple. For those of you who like Big Finish, I'll just show you the latest Big Finish releases that have come in. So there is Doctor of War Destiny that just came in. This is part of an Unbound series. The Unbound series came out a long time ago where they basically released some Doctor Who audios with the concept of what if. And so they've always that's when they can really play fast and loose with the canon and come up with some really interesting non-canonical storylines, but they're kind of interesting. Also coming out is the latest Master with Eric Roberts as a Master.
Yeah,
getting him returning to the role. This is the second audio set that he's been featured in, and you can identify this particular series by the exclamation mark after Master. So Eric Roberts gets an exclamation mark. Probably from being Julia Roberts' deadbeat brother-in-law.
Chase Masterson's is in there playing Vienna, right?
Let's see. That's a good question. Is she in it? She may be. I don't know if she's in this one. I don't see her in this one. It may have been a different one.
I think it's on the cover, dude.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it is Chase Masters. There it is. There it is. I was looking at the back, and okay, that is Chase Masters. Yep, that is her. She's a little older now than she was, but that is her.
The
you wouldn't know it to see her.
Colin Baker. He's
no. She's still lovely.
Right? Oh, she's awesome.
The
War Doctor, Colin Baker is playing.
Colin Baker, yes. And Who Am I is written by Nigel Fairs. So for that has a lot of meaning for people who are familiar with some of the lost stories. So also another one that's come out, Third Doctor story, Kaleidoscope. So there you go. Third Doctor looked like he's on a motorbike. That voice. Well, I'm sorry. I know you're talking about the 13th Doctor.
Do you know somebody named Mega the Extremist?
What's that?
Do you know somebody Mega the Extremist?
Mega.
I just want to I don't know who that comment's for, but it's okay.
Huh? What's that?
Somebody named on the YouTube channel Mega the Extremist. He said, that voice. I don't know.
He was referring all the way back when the 13th Doctor was doing the voice of the 13th Doctor was doing Mackenzie Floor's book, and that was what that was a reference to.
Gotcha.
So, I caught it because I saw it when it came in there. So, yeah. TARDIS Spiders are going to come visit us. So if you're wanting to come in around the same time, he might be in there.
See the famous TARDIS Spider.
TARDIS Spider. Yeah, if you want to get something, I got PayPal, brother. I can help you out. There's that girl.
So yeah, there's also some new Torchwood that's come out. We're up to number 65. This is our latest release. And interesting about Death in Venice is who's on the cover? Sophie Aldred.
Yeah.
So there she is in all her glory. Of course, she showed up in the last episode of the 13th Doctor. You know, it was funny. We had Sophie Aldred at an event where she was our guest at when we were doing PopCon, and she was doing autographs and everything like that. And there were some young girls who never saw her, never saw Ace, didn't know anything about it. And I was like, yes, we will ship to the UK. Anyway, I was like telling these girls, go see Sophie Aldred. And they were like, we don't know who she is. I've never heard of her. And I said, well, she was in Doctor Who in the classic series, but she's young enough. She might just appear in New Who. And this was like 3 or 4 years before she was recasting it. So it's kind of cool. And I did get them to go see her. So I'm hoping they realize their fortuitousness in being there at that time. So then also, Big Finish put out a book, which it's been a while since we've gotten a book from Big Finish, but it's on Blake 7. So those of you who are fans of Blake 7, that of course had a lot of the writers from classic Doctor Who involved in it. It's a series that came out all the way back. I think, was Tom Baker still the Doctor when Blake 7 started?
I think so, and I think if I'm not mistaken, Colin Baker actually made an appearance as
he did.
The Butcher. I can't remember. Somebody remembers that name. Something the Butcher.
Colin Baker actually appears in one of the televised episodes, as does Valentine Dial, who, if you remember the classic series, he played as the dark from the Key to Time series. It was the
Dark Guardian? Black Guardian.
Yeah, Black Guardian. Yep, Black Guardian. So he was in it, and there's actually quite a few other actors, who'd been in both Doctor Who and Blake Seven. So and a lot of the same writers too. So that's why a lot of
Avon lives. Avon lives. Yes.
Yeah. So there's lots of.
Thank you, Dan. Babin the Butcher.
Yeah.
I my memory of Blake Seven's all broken up now because that's how I watched the series. I've never watched like an episode through. I've always seen it. Like, I need to like hunker down and just watch a series out there. So what is the most
Doctor Crystal 1980? So
what's your favorite most recent thing that's come out in your store recently? I mean, what you were like, oh my goodness, this is the one that I've been waiting for.
Definitely the first Doctor in TARDIS, because I'm a big action figure collector for the Doctor Who line. That's really what I like. I've got just in the collection here in the store, I've got like a lot of the Dennis Fisher figures, Dapol figures, and so I've got an original Rolican, a few things like I like the toys and action figures. They've always been the thing I've liked the most. One of my favorite things in the museum section is the TARDIS tuner, which is kind of funny. It's just an AM radio that's got weird noises. It looks nothing like anything it ever showed on it. Actually looks more like a tricorder from Star Trek, but it's just an oddball thing, but it's got this really cool 70s packaging that, it's Tom Baker on the cover of it. Love it. So I like the toys and stuff like that. So the fact that they did a David Bradley action figure is really cool, because there haven't been a lot of really new figures. There have been a lot of re-releases of figures, but there haven't been a lot of new sculpts and figures, and that's one of the things I really like about that. So I before that, I know I picked up the three Silurians when they did the set. Character did the exclusive set through their website, and those are really cool. But I love the action figures, so I'm always happy when they're doing something new that hasn't been done before, and that's what I always look forward to. Yep.
Tom, you got a
kitty
buttload of Doctor Who merchandise.
Of course I do.
Is there something that you're looking for that Keith could probably provide you? Is there a piece of merchandise that you're looking for?
I've got a lot from Keith over the years because I was always on the forum. I met a lot of good people and also met on Facebook, so we're on communication. So nothing as of yet, because I have gotten Dapol items. I do have the TARDIS tuner in the other room. Here's one for you, Keith. There's some miniature busts that were made. It went up from just 6 Doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I have that one, but I was never able to acquire the ones with the villains.
Right. Yeah, they had some monsters, and I've got a set in the museum of the Doctor's busts, and it's on Colin Baker. It says to present, and everything like that. So that's when it came out. Was and those were fine art castings, I believe, that put those out. So really neat little bust, very accurate, very nice for that day and age. You got to realize those were, that's before the days of 3D print sculpts, which you get a lot. I mean, not, in other words, they do with a lot of the actors today, they do these actual head scans and get really accurate pictures of them and then create figures based on them. But back then you had to have actual real artists who come up with incredible sculpts, and those were really neat. So so Melanie, I don't have the villains. What's that?
So Melanie has 2 questions. We've answered her second one, and I think I'm assuming that's going to be the first Doctor that we were just talking about. Or did you have another favorite?
Yeah, that's actually of the latest the latest that's come out. I mean, I really like the 8th Doctor set because I like the 8th Doctor. I'm glad that he's getting more than just the TV movie sculpt now, that because they've brought him in Night of the Doctor. They've done with Big Finish, which really surprised me that they did an action figure based on Big Finish. That was really cool that they did that, because I get it. The telemovie has its pluses and negatives, but Paul McGann as the Doctor is fantastic. What a brilliant choice of casting. He was a great Doctor. He had a great personality. He needed a good script.
Yes.
He needed
and
several
not to go against Roseanne.
And he needed some years. So and I know there's rumors flying about that we may get a new Paul McGann series with Disney at some point in the future, where they're actually going to go back and possibly do some some spin-off series, and that was one of the ones that they've been tossing around that may actually happen. So if that happens, that would be great. I would love to see Paul McGann return to the role with some good scripts, because I think he could carry it.
Definitely. And Melanie's first question was, what vintage action figure is your favorite?
My vintage. Okay, are we talking about characters, vintage action figures, or the vintage action figures came from the past? Because if we're talking about the vintage stuff from the past, Robot from the Dennis Fisher line is my favorite vintage action figure from the past. I really like that. Robot was the first Doctor Who story I saw, so that's one of the reasons I really like that one. I love the character Build-A-Figure set of that one too, and I like the later one that came out here just about a year or so ago with the Fourth Doctor and Robot from that. Now, my absolute favorite character classic figure is for a really weird reason, but it's the Zygon. It's the Zygon from the classic series that Character Options did, and let me tell you why. It's so accurate, and this is funny. If you go look at the figure, they put the microphone that's hidden into the outfit into one of the little circles on his body. So if you look closely, there's a little silver spot right there in the middle of one of his suctions right in front. That's where the microphone was. And it's got to be an in-joke because it's so hilarious. That is because when he was talking like this, he would talk down into his little microphone that was implanted right here in this sucker right in his chest. And if you look at the action figure, it has a little silver spot there where that microphone is. And it's so funny. When I saw that, I broke out laughing because I should go grab it and bring it up. You can grab it.
Well, we're going to go to a commercial break here in a couple of seconds. But
okay.
And before we do that, Andrew Morris has had a question. Your favorite TARDIS and screwdriver?
My favorite TARDIS and my favorite screwdriver. Okay, that's the TARDIS one's a little bit tough. As far as, are we talking about the exterior, the toy type thing?
I'm going to say probably toy action figure, something retail-y that you would have.
Yeah, I mean, I think of the toys. The 10th Doctor's SFX TARDIS was brilliant when it came out. So I think it was still, I mean, the ones that came out after it are really cool. But that when it first came out, the 10th Doctor's, with all the spin and fly stuff and everything else that they did, rotating it on your finger and all that. That's a really cool TARDIS. Of the Sonics, probably my favorite of the regular. I'm not going to go into Rubber Toe. Rubber Toe is, that's a whole nother thing. Of the Sonics, my personal favorite is the one Product Enterprise put out of the Fourth Doctor. That was a metal one that looked like screen accurate. I like that one a lot better than like the character one because it's plastic. So that's probably my favorite of those. If you're talking about which of the character ones, that is my favorite. That is a tough one. I'm really inclined to like the Matt Smith Sonic with the button on the bottom, the claw arm one. I really like. I like the way you can do it this way. I like the way you can do it with your thumb. I like the whole thing like that. Which is that button was lost when they went to the 12th Doctor Sonic, and I always found the touch one that doesn't have the button to be a little fiddly. I'm not really a big fan of the one that's touch control versus the button. I still like the button to make the sounds. But I do like the claw arm. The 10th Doctor Sonic is okay. The 10th Doctor Sonic's okay, but it's a little plain. It's not that. And the toy problem is that you always lose the little plastic cap over the screw head right there, and the whole thing about being a pin and the bottom falling off all the time. A lot of people have to glue their pin part on to keep it from falling off. It's not my favorite for that reason. So I've always kind of been a claw arm Sonic person as far as the ones I like, the most.
I just like the thing that goes up and down, up and down. It's just like it actually does something as opposed.
It's spring loaded, goes bing.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the 12 Doctors because his has the 4 default settings. So you can have one blue, one. You have the 2 Sonics, one two blue, two green settings. So I always thought that was
cool. With the kind of TARDIS-y top looking one.
Yes.
The blue one. Yeah. That one's pretty cool. It grew on me. The first time I saw it, it's a little blocky. I didn't really like it the first time I saw it, but it did grow on me a little bit.
Well, it's not like what they call it, ergodynamic. I mean, it doesn't feel right in the hand. It just, as opposed to Matt's, it felt like, oh, this is comfortable, and you hit the button and everything. This one felt like you were holding a piece. You didn't know where the correct way to hold it. In fact, when I gave it to people to play with at the conventions, I still have mine. They don't even know which end to hold it with proper, so they're always pointing it to themselves, and it's just like, poor thing. Folks, we're going to go commercial break. When we return, we're going to continue our conversation with WHO North America with Keith over there. Don't forget, check out his website, whona.com. We'll be right back. Stand by, folks.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
You have more options than ever before when choosing a film, a television or internet series, a book to curl up with, or even a radio show or podcast. Get to know the people who are creating for you. The Hangin' With Web Show, hosted by award-winning author and journalist G.W. Pomacher, is the internet's fastest-growing web talk show series. The Hangin' With Web Show features professional, yet casual, in-depth interviews with creative arts and entertainment pros. Meet the people behind a digital revolution in creating more quality content than ever before in the history of media. Find the Hangin' With Web Show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or simply go to www.hanginwithshow.com. That's www.hanginwithshow.com.
Hi, my name is Jamie Engel, critically acclaimed author of The Toilet Papers, Places to Go While You Go, a short story collection suited to match your bathroom needs. Only have to go a little? No problem. I've got stories under 1,000 words for you. Far from poopin'? I've got you covered, with stories over 5,000 words to keep you occupied, while your latrine stays occupied. And that's not all. The Toilet Papers is endorsed by the fine folks from Squatty Potty, the stool for better stools. But don't take my word for it. See what Dookie the Squatty Potty unicorn has to say on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. Well, I've got to go, but you can grab your copy of The Toilet Papers on Amazon in ebook or print, or get an autographed copy from me at therightangle.com. And don't worry, I promise I'll wash my hands first. The Toilet Papers. You might just stay in the bathroom longer than you need to.
Welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basel. I'm here with the hashtag guru himself, Tom Kosak. I'm here with the rathole.ca's Dave Chapman, and I am here with Keith from WHO North America, and he's going to be taking us on tour of his shop in just a few moments out there. And there we go. Without further ado, Keith, I'm going to give you controls back to the TARDIS. I love that tree. I simply love that tree out there. That is gorgeous out there. So here we go. You might be busy, but
all right. Well, no, I am here. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine. Thank you, Keith.
All right. Well, since we mentioned a couple things, I would like to show everyone. This is the fine art castings busts of the Doctors. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fancy.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And there you go.
Delicious.
1984 to present. So that's when that came out. Colin Baker.
I need 5 of those.
Delicious.
And I mentioned the TARDIS tuner, so I did want to show my TARDIS tuner so everybody can see that. So it looks a little bit like a Star Trek tricorder. Nifty item there. And if you can't see anything when I'm showing, let me know. So, because I can't see what's going on, I'm just doing.
No, you're fine there, Tom. I'll highlight you in just a few minutes there.
Okay, and then here I'm going to show a Dennis Fisher robot.
Yep.
And a robot from Character Options. This is the Build-A-Figure version. Has the gun, as you can see. So this is the Dennis Fisher. One of the most missing parts are these shoulder pads. This is a complete one. And then, so a couple of my favorites, because that was my first Doctor Who story ever. It was robot. So
I really want to bring that robot back just to see what it looks like in today's world.
And we do have a Doctor Who pinball machine on free play, but this is a miniature version of it, which I like to show off.
That is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Melanie asked, "Were those bus pewter?"
Yes, those are. I believe those are pewter. Yes.
I love your tree. I think I want more TARDIS lights for my tree. I've got 2 strands that I found.
TARDIS lights, Dalek lights, Weeping Angel tree topper. So those are all some of the things here. Oh, now, as I do this, the microphone is a little bit away from me. So as I'm kind of showing you around, you may not hear me very well, but I will. Okay. You guys keep talking, and I'll try to do stuff and tell you what we're doing. So
here we go.
This coming Saturday is Jingle Bell Shop, and one of the things about that is we'll have 2 vendors here who have made some Doctor Who merchandise, and this is one of the vendors. They were here this last Saturday, and they're going to be here again this next Saturday, and they make a lot of Doctor Who things, by hand, and that's some of the cool things that you can get, one-off things that you could not get otherwise here in store during that. No, they don't have a website. It's only in store. It's because non-licensed merchandise, type thing. It's one of those things where you can just get it here while they're here, and there's things they've made. But I'll kind of put a few things up there, and you can comment and tell me what you think. So,
I think Dave, if not, I think Melanie has a question. Best-selling item?
Yeah, she did a little. There we go.
There we go. Melanie asks, "What is your best-selling item?"
Well, the interesting thing about the items that we carry, there's kind of 2 different markets, in store and online, and they're not the same. So, online, the toys sell really well, but in store they don't. And online, we sell through typically the Doctor Who magazine every month. So our biggest sellers that are kind of monthly releases are the magazine, of course, Big Finish Audios. And then in store, we move through things like a lot of mugs and a lot of, we sell more DVDs probably in store than we do online. Just a lot of things like the lava lamp or whatever. That'll be kind of an in-store selling thing versus online. So a lot of amazing socks sell in store like crazy. Of course, we don't have them listed online.
Socks. Nice.
Socks. Doctor Who socks.
Yes. I got it. Carl, it's been hard.
Carl, get out there.
It's temptingly close, probably an hour away. It's worth.
That's worth an hour's trip.
Yeah, that's worth an hour's trip. Look at that.
It's a 36-hour drive for me, and I will drive there. And have.
Carl, is there something in particular you're looking for Doctor Who wise that we could bring up to Keith? I got to ask, what is your best selling Big Finish? Oh, that would have been good. Oh, that is lovely. I love that. And for people who are listening to our radio, it's the 11th Doctor's sonic screwdriver in a glass frame that says, "In case of emergencies, break glass." It's cool. I love this.
Well, there you can see our life-size Dalek. And when you were asking about the Big Finish line, we have done probably it's the 4th Doctor audios. Whenever those come out, tend to be our best sellers any longer. But there haven't been a lot of new 4th Doctor audios lately. David Tennant, of course, did some audios. But oddly enough, new series audios don't really move that well compared to classic series. And I don't know if that's because people haven't, the people who watch the new series haven't kind of grown up listening to audios or whatever it is. But it's kind of interesting that a lot of the classic stuff is what's really, people tend to like. So you'll get a lot of interest in those. Like the 40 series with Peter Davison has done really well. So those have been some of our.
Oh, TARDIS Spider says it will be in the area of a 10-hour drive for me. This TARDIS Spider is driving 10 hours to get to you, my friend. So definitely a road trip. Oh, Carl is asking, how about a long coat like Tom Baker? And you had something hanging on the rack on the entrance earlier.
I have a trench coat on the rack, but it's not for sale. But I don't actually carry an official Tom Baker jacket because there really hasn't been one. They've done the scarf numerous times. They've done the hat, but they have not done an official jacket compared to of course you get the Jodie Whittaker jacket from when that was an exclusive through, I think Her Universe put it through Hot Topic. So that was kind of the only way you could get that at that time. But you can see some of our ceramics and some of our mugs that we have. Some of the more oddball things, I don't know if you've all seen it, but the Geeky Tiki mugs are kind of unusual.
Oh, I love those.
So, yeah, this is a Geeky Tiki Matt Smith.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
And he's wearing a fez, I would like to point out on that.
They've done a K9, which is kind of my favorite. I'm a big
Oh my God. Yes.
I need 5 of those too. I need 5 of everything. I just take my money, Keith. Just take my money. Here we are.
Yeah, and there's a Geeky Tiki put out a TARDIS like this that has 4 different ones in there. There's a Dalek, a smaller Matt Smith, a Weeping Angel, and a Cyberman. You can kind of see
the mini size, yeah.
So they're about that size. They're about shot size, but really kind of an interesting set there. I really like
Tiki bar shots.
The artwork. Packaging is a big deal to me, and I like this one.
I like that package. Yeah, I do. I love the way that fits. Hot Topic. I never knew. Oh, okay.
Hot Topic has all the licenses, plus they have the Her Universe stuff. So yeah.
The lava lamp. The lava lamp.
This is like one of my. I like it because it's kind of based on the classic the classic TARDIS console.
Yes.
And if anybody's interested on the scale, the closest scale figures to this are the Biff Bang Pow figures, which are about Mego size. I don't know if anybody's seen those, but when Biff Bang Pow did a series of Doctor Who figures, they look really good against this TARDIS if you're looking for something in scale. It's a little bit too big for the 5-inch figures. It's too small for like the 10 and 12-inch figures, but it looks really good with the 8-inch Biff Bang Pow ones. So.
For a split second, I thought Andrew Moore said, "I love lamp." Sorry. Oh, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah. This is
very popular item that a lot of people like are the Bluetooth speakers.
Bluetooth
and this
speakers.
is the Bad Wolf TARDIS Bluetooth speaker. And it's a real nice little item for Christmas if you're looking for something to give someone. So I like that one a lot.
I'd like to advertise with us.
I want one.
Oh, Andrew just typed in "I love lamp." Okay, fine. Mine, just make it happen. There we go. Thanks, Andrew.
Now, over this way, I'll show you
yeah.
where our books are. So we've got books down this aisle. Books and comic books, lots of interesting things in the store. There's only so far I can go with this camera, but
no, that's understood.
Of course, this side over
you
here.
reach your game stuff.
The cool things on the overhead too. I don't know if you can see all the things up there. There is a Zygon head up there, which is full size, really cool.
Now, my question: aside from the Doctor Who ornaments and the lights, is there anything holiday specific from those things?
As far as what's available right now?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a few things. Hold on a second. Let me get those, and I'll show you.
Somebody's looking for that Christmas item.
Sorry.
I got him really going to the back of the store now.
Oh, that's not even that goes back that far.
Yeah, I know. I saw you're walking. I'm like, dude.
In the past, Kurt Adler had the license, and of course, did a bunch of ornaments. Like this is a multi-pack of Kurt Adler ornaments. Kurt Adler no longer has the Doctor Who license. It now went over to Hallmark, and Hallmark has the Doctor Who license. So you can get right now the TARDIS, which is really kind of cool. Just so you know, these were packaged for her assortment in the big Hallmark displays. So if you do go into your Walmart, you may actually find a couple of these in your Walmart store. Or I do know that Meijer, a big kind of grocery chain over this way, also carried this particular line. So if you do see a big Hallmark ornament display, you may be able to find some of these. So you can get this from us, but you'll get it cheaper if you get it from Walmart because they got the assortment. We didn't get the entire assortment. We're only interested in this one. So we had to pay through the nose just to get this one by itself. So
I understand.
But of course, if you can't find it, get it from us. But, you know, like I said, you may actually be able to find this at Walmart, which is unusual to find Doctor Who stuff at Walmart, and that's why I bring it up. So
Mark Robinson says, Keith, looking for 2 TARDIS, half blue, half pink one, and Clara Remembrance TARDIS. Do you have these items?
The Clara Remembrance TARDIS, so you're referring to the one put out by Titan a few years back?
I'm assuming so. The one with, I guess it has the
Yeah, I don't have it any longer. I mean, we had it in the past, but I don't have anything longer. Now, one of the new things that did come out, which I'll bring into everybody's attention, is the twin pack game for the Switch. So if you have a Nintendo Switch, you can play Doctor Who on it, which is kind of cool. So, and one is Jodie, one is not. So even if you don't like Jodie Whittaker, you can still get a game to play. Some people do, some people don't. Not going to judge you one way or the other.
No problem. Keith, I'm going to put you on hold for just a moment because we just go run the commercial break. When we return, we're going to continue on with Keith over at Who North America. Don't forget to check out WHOna.com. And he does deliver, and according after a month, he delivers to the UK. So when we return, please continue to stay logged on, tune in, and we're going to continue our tour with.
Join author Gary Zeiger for an animatic short film based on his Breakaway Stingray novel series. Watch this animatic short based on the novel Stingray, You Can't Hide Forever at stingrayseries.com. In Stingray, You Can't Hide Forever, Captain Epsilon is putting the band back together to rescue his protege's little sister from the evil conglomerate, while keeping his state-of-the-art warship Stingray out of their hands. Watch as the adventure unfolds in the groundbreaking animatic short at stingrayseries.com. Then, join the crew of Stingray with the next novel in the series, Stingray Prophecy, where Captain Epsilon and Dr. Zubre are pivotal players in an ancient prophecy. Can they reunite the people of two worlds before they destroy each other? To learn more, visit stingrayseries.com.
Sweet dreams they placed on me inside my mind. Chance my truth, twist the past, my memories are fading fast. Am I still missed? Who do you want me to be? Am I still
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
Happy holidays from the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Don't forget, if you want to help us meet our goal, we want to thank everybody for helping us get to our YouTube channel goal. We hit 2,500 way before the end of this year, and we're going to try to see if we can get up to 3,000. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and on our YouTube channel. And right now, if you haven't had a chance and you're looking on our Facebook page, youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, we're putting out content for our 25 days of Christmas, or 25 days of Humus out there. Don't forget Facebook.com, Facebook.com/The Traveling TARDIS. We are closing in at our new goal of 65,000. We're very close. So if you haven't subscribed over there, do so. We're I think 500 people left. And that'd be great for us, a little treat for us at the end of the year. Also, don't forget, if you're having that stressful time of this year, don't forget you've got friends to call. They're available 24/7, 1-800-273-TALK or 1-800-273-8255. Hear good in the States out there. But if you need help and you want to talk to somebody, find your family, find your friends, somebody. But if it gets a little stressful out there, talk to somebody. You can also text at 988. But please just talk to somebody this year. If you really are stressed out, we understand. And if you need somebody to talk to, we always talk to each other when we're in need. Welcome back, folks, to Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We're back over with WHO North America and Keith over there, Keith Bradbury at the location. Thank you for giving us a little tour of the store. How you doing?
I want to grab his Jamie Dodger and eat it.
Yeah, go do it. You had no. It's a rite of passage now. You have to do it at this moment.
You need a snack section.
I was gonna show you. Some people probably are very aware of the Metal Earth different things that have come out.
Yeah.
They of course did a TARDIS. They did a Cyberman head. They did a Dalek. They've actually done 2 versions of K9. The non-rusty version is no longer available, but the rusty one is still available. These are incredibly difficult to put together and get right. But if you ever do, if you want to know what they look like, this is a TARDIS that was put together. And so you can see what a Metal Earth TARDIS looks like if you can do it right. This is the kit that they come in, and this is how it'll turn out when it's done. They're really beautiful little items, but they're very popular item too. But they require a lot of patience, and you can't be afraid of getting little cuts, because you'll cut yourself numerous times on those.
Thank you for the warning. I have no patience.
There's a lot of people who buy them, and very few probably ever successfully put them together. Right? It's one of those things, not like a simple put together thing, and they're just really hard to put together.
Jack Phillips says, I met y'all at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. Do you remember he was a kid cosplaying as 11? We have a lot of pictures from Tampa Bay Comic-Con if you want to check it out there, Jack. But thank you for joining us out there. Thank you so much. With respect, Jack, we had a lot of people who came out as 11 take pictures of it. But that is so cool. We'd love to see you, Jack, when we go on tour on our conventions next year. So
here's my question for you, Keith.
Oh, go for it.
Go ahead.
Do you have any, because the line is getting discontinued and melted down in a couple of weeks? Do you have any Exterminate, the Warlord Games miniatures game?
I only ever had the base game of it when we had it. I do not have any left at all. We had problems getting it in the States because technically it wasn't supposed to come here. They did workarounds with it, but it was kind of a convoluted workaround. And then the next thing we knew, they all started showing up in Amazon. So it was like, because it was so difficult to get it, we just kind of said, if you want that game, get it from Amazon while they still have it. I think Amazon's pretty much, pick or choose right now. There's not very much available left of it from that series.
Well, I mean, they've lost the license, and anything that is not sold at the end of the year is basically getting melted down.
Right.
That's gone out of print, dead.
Right.
So it's anyone who can get a hold of it. There's talk. I need to do that. So I figured.
And individual sellers may still have that on things like Amazon. But like I said, we had the base core set, and that was it. And we had long sold out of those. Yeah. We do have the Time of the Daleks game. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but that's put out by Battlefront. That's a really good game. It's not necessarily "quote unquote" a miniatures game like the other one was, but there are some really cool miniatures with it. And it's
I showed that off last year as well. Yeah, that's the one I showed off last year on my episode. With the plastic minis. Yeah, I do a yearly show of gaming. That's how I got into this channel. Was Doctor Who board games. Next time I come through, I need to pick up some of the. Do you still have some of the FASA old? Not
we still
miniatures?
with the FASAs, I know we've got probably about 4 or 5 sets left. They are the Brigadier and Unit Troopers, the Sergeant Benton and Unit Troopers, and a couple of the oddball ones. Of course, you're not going to find any of the Doctors with us as far as those. Those are long gone. Those are highly sought after. Those are ones that you'll pay a little bit more trying to find somebody who's going to sell those. But yeah, we ended up with basically all the leftover stock. I believe it ended up in Canada at one point, then ended up with us. So it's kind of a long, convoluted story of where it came from and how it got to us in the long run.
The stories of how things get to you are fascinating because you have all sorts of things where it's like, it's a weird story how this happened.
Yeah.
On all of this stuff. I find it hilarious that Mark is asking you, who has to bring most of your stuff, or for many years had to try and get your stuff from the UK, do you ship to the UK?
Yes, yeah, and that's the thing too. There are not a lot of places in the United States any longer that are doing Doctor Who stuff. So of course we still get the DVDs and Blu-rays coming out from Warner. So those are still in the U.S. Apart from that, the calendars come from Mead, so those are still produced in the United States. But in the last 2 to 3 years. The U.S. market has lost Unemployed Philosophers Guild, who did the Disappearing TARDIS mugs, the Disappearing Weeping Angel mugs. They did Soup and Sandwich Vortex. They did the little Post-it notes that you could get. They did a bunch of different things. They no longer have a license. The company that did the standees in the United States, they no longer have the license. I'm trying to think who else was a U.S. producer of some different things. Basically, Culture Nick dropped out a few years ago. We lost Underground Toys, which became 720. I had no clue what happened to them. One day they just up and disappeared. So, I if anybody's in the know, I'd kind of be interested in, knowing if anybody's clued in on what happened with them. Because for a while, 720, I believe, was the company that came out of Underground Toys. They're the ones who did the Sonic over here for the Jodie Whittaker Sonic. They did the kind of obscure 13th Doctor oddball looking thing that wasn't a character figure.
Keith, I'm just going to put a break right here just for a split second. We're not going anywhere, folks, but our friends who are listening to us on their favorite audios on iHeartRadio, we're going to be ending very, very shortly. If you want to continue listening on or watching, you can go to the YouTube channel or the Facebook page. Join us anytime. iHeart, sci-fi.radio, Odyssey, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you want to watch this episode in its full length, join us over on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe right now on our Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, youtube.com. Thank you so much there, folks. Everybody stay put. We're going to continue on. We just got to say goodbye to our friends over at sci-fi.radio, as well as our audio folks. But please continue to stay logged on, tune in, become part of the legend. Thank you, folks. We'll be continuing in just a moment. All right, that was it.
Okay.
We just had to make that transition. So
sure.
Go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry. Go for it.
Yeah, let me answer the one question Mark Robinson asked. Yes. I know for the 60th anniversary, there is a lot of new merchandise that will be coming out. Existing license holder Titan will be doing quite a bunch of different things. A lot of it's, of course, going to be T-shirts, but they are really gearing up. And I've heard there's going to be some license switches this year. In other words, new companies coming on, old companies going out. You already saw something like that when they dropped Kurt Adler and brought in Hallmark to do ornaments. But a lot of this is gearing up for the 60th anniversary. So there's going to be a lot of new product. A lot of the old stuff will disappear. So there's going to probably be a fair amount of turnover on different things. Of course, recently when in receivership was Eagle Moss. So if you're missing any of the miniatures from that series or trying to find some, you better get them quickly because they're going to just start disappearing. We're only in Indianapolis, Indiana. We have no other store, but we do ship nationwide. So order online if you're not able to come visit us. But this is our only location. So
it's the only location there. So you can Jack, you can check out his website over at
whona.com.
Right. They do delivery. Is there one in Florida? Trust me, I'm trying to convince them, Jack. I did read your previous. That's fine. I totally understand. If you don't take it out of my head, not my heart. I guarantee you, if I see you in your cosplay, I'm probably going, oh yes, that is you. And I do have a question because I want to bring our friend Paul Bolte, Mr. Paul Boltwood from the No Name Trivia. He's in Australia. Do you deliver there as well?
We are back to delivering to Australia. For a long time there, the post office would no longer ship to Australia unless you use their absolute highest expensive form of postage, and that was like Global Express. But they have now brought back to where we can ship to Australia. So there was about at least almost a year where we could not ship to Australia because of the post office. So, but yeah, that is back into play now. So yes, you should be able to order off. Not gonna say it's cheap, but you can at least order. So yeah, the postage rates have really been going up. Oh, is that the black and white TARDIS, or what is that one?
Oh, this is a one of a kind camouflage TARDIS.
Oh, ooh, very nice. Is that a
more money I wasted because I am
okay.
overspenders? Ooh, camouflage TARDIS, you can't see it. Ooh.
Maybe I'll go grab an oddball thing and show you all if that's something you want to see.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
We want to.
Give me a minute. Drop me off. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. I got a question. We'll go through the chats real fast out there. So, Jack, yeah, if we see you over at Tampa Bay Comic-Con or another convention, by all means. Paul Bolte. Oh, cool. Expect an order from me soon of your stuff. Absolutely.
I think we need to have a meet and greet. I think we need to have a Traveling TARDIS meet and greet.
I'm working on it. Next, hopefully 2023.
And I'm going to say it should be the end of July, beginning of August. Because I'm guaranteed to be in Indianapolis that first weekend for Gen Con, as will Mackenzie. I assume Mackenzie. I guaranteed me, usually Mackenzie.
I better hang on to my disappearing TARDIS.
Yes.
Hang on to anything that is Doctor Who, because you never know when it's going to go out. Tom, show us
my TARDIS tuner, which I bought a long time ago from a place in Orlando.
Was that 1701?
No, it was the remember Intergalactic Comics and Collectibles.
Oh God, yeah, they were on iDrive.
No, they later moved to iDrive. They were in Castleberry, and the Intergalactic Trading Company. I got rid of the majority of my Star Wars stuff to get Doctor Who. That's why I have the computer head tuner, talking K9 from Denny's. So I got quite a few things, and all those books that are never read, just sat on the shelf. So it was a choice I made, but this was very important to me. I had like Keith said, it is an AM radio. I had to tune into whatever oldie station that was available in Orlando at the time. You turn the dial. I love this thing. It takes 2 AA batteries. I'm trying to remember how to do it. But there's lights, radio, lights, makes Morse code, laser beep, and does all these cool things. It is a phenomenal thing. I'm glad I spent the money on that. Plus, I also have all the dipole. Like I saw it, Keith had the 5-sided console, which they never ever made the 6-sided console. And even when I contacted them years ago, I said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, we're planning the TARDIS toolkit. We're planning all this and that." And then it eventually faded down to, "We're going to make repaints of Daleks that you don't need, but you're going to buy because it's Doctor Who."
And a camouflage TARDIS, the boots.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
What do you got there, Keith?
Okay, yeah, this is actually a handmade TARDIS that a person took around to all kinds of different conventions, and it's covered in autographs. So there are literally autographs here from, I know that probably most, It's been around for years. So most of these are classic, but you can see possibly at the bottom that there is Tom Baker down there. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of probably hard to see.
Wow.
Tom's
Baker.
Enough
for me. You don't have to worry about the others.
Leela or Louise Jameson. I know Sophie. There's Sarah Sutton. Sophie Aldred is on here. Who else? Lots and lots of people. John Leeson's on here. John Pertwee's on here. Elizabeth Sladen is on here. Signed on the top. It's signed on every panel. Nicholas Courtney is on there. Anthony Ainley is on there. People I can't even read their handwriting is on there. But it's a really, really, really cool one-off thing that a guy basically had made and went around to different conventions and had.
How heavy is that thing? It looks like it's really heavy.
I would say it's probably about 9 or 10, 9 pounds. I would say 9 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got some weight to it, but it's really cool. It's just one of those odd things that, if you ever saw a guy going around to conventions getting their autographs on his TARDIS, then that was kind of, he handmade this TARDIS and took that to different places. So we end up with really kind of unusual things, different times, different places, different ways. Either somebody's getting out of the collection business, somebody could have passed away. Sometimes we get their collection. So we've had people who've, kind of either donated their collection. A lot of it goes to the museum. This hasn't gone out to the museum yet. It will at some point. But because there's autographs on all sides, I kind of want it to be able to rotate in the cabinet when it's finally done. So I'll have to put electronics because the battery wear out anytime. But just kind of a neat.
Baldy's asking if Simon Fisher Becker has autographed the TARDIS yet.
I do not know. I don't know. I'm sorry.
And Carl Witzman's asking, is that for sale in the shop?
No, it's not for sale. It's just an item. Like I said, there's stuff that people don't get to see because I've got so much stuff in storage that's never been put out, even in the cabinets. That I've been retaining and holding on to for years. That I would love to get it all out there, but I should have brought my Christmas hat too.
I didn't get the memo.
But you know what? I'd be playing with that all day long too. So
I was for one episode. I had the ball.
Yeah.
Keith, an item that didn't work. Like they made it, you bought it, and you're like, "Why did we get this thing? What Doctor Who item just didn't work out for you?"
Okay. There's items that don't sell. Okay.
Right.
Probably the biggest, worst possible purchase we probably made of something was the
nice bolt.
The Flesh Create a Matt Smith set. Are you familiar with that one? I mean, it's the Flesh. The Flesh,
I know what you're talking about. The almost people or whatever that episode.
Yeah. It's this little plastic. It looks like almost like a little coffin that you put the goo in, and you put the little skeleton form in, and it makes a Matt Smith kind of looking figure, flesh type thing. And
that sounds horrific.
Because it was, we thought it would be a part of the action figure line, because we had certain numbers that we expected from the 5-inch action figure line, whether it was, toys or even TARDIS play sets or whatever. So we figured, well, I mean, we typically sell through 100 of the action figures. And so I think we ordered 100 of that set, and it sat and it sat and it sat, and we were so deep into them. We sell them below cost to this day, because they never sold. So I think our cost was close to 25, almost $30 per unit, and I think we sell it for $19.95 or something like that. I mean, because it's just like we can't get rid of them. People don't want them. So that was one of those things that, yeah.
No, Dave, I'll be right back because I saw something in the chat. Give me one moment. I'll be right back, brother.
Okay. I have no idea. That's okay. We'll just continue on without it.
Maybe it was
the show just got better.
There we go. So that's one of the things that I think the 12-inch line, other than the Doctor, really didn't do very well. which was surprising. They were really good figures. Everybody wanted the Doctor, but the Jadoon, which was almost 14 inches tall, for a long time you couldn't give them away. And so I know that for quite a while we were selling them for $15, which was the low cost at the time. Of course, now of course you can't get them, but I mean for a long time. But we still have like tons of the 12-inch Daleks in Manhattan figure. We thought they would have gone over real well. They didn't go over well. I think when we bought them at the level we were buying 5-inch figures, which was a really bad move on our part. So we sunk a lot of money into those, and they just didn't do well. So that was kind of funny. One of the interesting things, though, if you want to talk about stuff in history that we got stuck with and had to find creative ways to get rid of, was when they were releasing the waves that included the werewolf. Now, the Doctor Who werewolf action figure, of course, the werewolf appears in one episode and one episode alone, Tooth and Claw, of course. That's the only episode the werewolf ever appeared in. But they were releasing waves of figures with 2, 3, 4 werewolves in a box, and that's a Sonic Spork. And the werewolf figure,
I have one in my regular space in Render.
The werewolf figure was thicker than a Dalek. So if you want to know how the packaging was, when we put them, if we boxed them in a case, after we took all the figures out, sorted them, and put them back in a case, the most we could ever get of a werewolf in the original case that they ever came in was 7 in a box. And we had boxes and boxes. We had hundreds of werewolf figures in case boxes that were stacked up because we couldn't move them. Everyone wanted the other figures that were in those waves, but nobody wanted the werewolves. They bought one werewolf, that was enough. You didn't need a bunch of werewolves. So that was the time that we decided to get involved in Toys for Tots. And if people gave a $5 donation, an action figure would go to Toys for Tots. So guess where all those action figures went? They all went to Toys for Tots. So that's how we moved through hundreds of werewolf figures, was
and still did a good thing.
And we still do Toys for Tots this day. So yeah, we still do the action figure donation, which is going on until Thursday at the end of Thursday of this week. And this year we are giving away Jodie Whittaker action figures to Toys for Tots. So for every donation, a Jodie Whittaker action figure goes into the. And those are still $5 donations, which is really kind of cool. So, we get $5 and a Jodie Whittaker figure goes in. Yeah, the Sonic Spork, it's an oddball item. It's not a hard item, which is, it's kind of funny. Those actually move. So, I always gauge things in success and how they move. If an item is really cool but doesn't move, is it a success? No, it's not. For example, a really nice looking item that came out earlier this year from Big Chief are the Dalek bobbleheads. They look pretty cool. They are terrible sellers. So those things are
Well, I gotta admit, if I'm looking for a bobblehead, it's going to be usually like a person. It wouldn't necessarily be like an anomaly, or probably this closest would be like Cybermen or something like that. But I don't know about Dalek.
Yeah. Give me a second. Weird. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to gather some things from the store so I can talk.
Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
There you go, Rock. I love this.
No,
it's been in my house for like ages.
Caitlin was downsizing and had one. She's like, "Here, take this Sonic Spork." Caitlin's also and Caitlin, for those who did tune in on last Wednesday, that's who was the lovely blonde lady who was sitting in and playing Parsley with us. But yeah, she's also the one. If you remember, I had a TARDIS fridge, a mini fridge.
Oh,
that I had pulled out on the show one time.
Yeah,
and I got that from her as well. Which, by the way, it has terrible like for being in a car. I took it while I was on this last road trip, and when the car's running fine, and everything is going, but there's not enough insulation for it to stay cold for any meaningful amount of time.
I used to have one of those like little fridges. They're supposed to be for the car. You plug them into your what used to be the cigarette lighter holder. Yeah. And that's all it did. It didn't really freeze it or anything. It just like kept them cool. It kept them from spoiling.
Yeah.
And even that was like, okay, it added 10 more minutes to its life before it can be tasty anymore. But
yeah, because it still was only big. Like you could only fit two 6-packs would fill that thing like a brick.
And I'm just wondering right now, anybody who's giving me Christmas presents with Doctor Who, do not give me Funko Pops. I've stopped. I have stopped where I am right now. I do not want any more Funko Pops. I've gotten 6 and I'm done. Balti says a number of years ago, and don't forget to check out Balti on the No Name Trivia. A number of years ago, I bought 2 strands of TARDIS lights for the Christmas tree. However, they came from America, and I had to buy converter for. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
That's not surprising at all.
The converter cost me 3 times the lights. I'm so sorry, Balti. Yeah, I've got.
You just got to buy several more sets.
Exactly,
make it worth it. If it costs 3 times more to get 3 times more lights, and then all even, you're good to go. I'm sure Keith has plenty of Christmas lights that he can send.
Now this is the bobblehead set, which I said is a really nice looking set. I really like the way it looks. I like the way it displays. It's that modern packaging, which I think is a little bit on the generic side. I mean, it's not as bad as Daypole, but it's not really my favorite. But it's still a good looking set. And those are the Dalek bobbleheads, and they wobble on their little bases. And like I said, it looks good. It doesn't sell, which is sad. Another thing that this was the Dalek Sec Hybrid that I mentioned earlier in the 12-inch line. These were
let's get you close up there.
Yeah, these were really, the likenesses were really cool. I mean, he's got a full suit and everything. It looks really good, but they don't sell. You get some things which they're really good figures, like you got the Sutek and 2 mummies from the Pyramids of Mars story, but there's no Doctor in this set, so these are a tough sell. So these had to be liquidated by Underground Toys to us, and we got them.
I want Sutek.
They're a really cool set.
Yeah,
they're a good set, but the thing is, it's one of those things that it didn't do as well as a lot of the other things. I mean, when you're kind of doing a 3-figure set like this, it's kind of once you get one of it, you don't really need more unless you're looking for 4 mummies, but you don't need 2 Suteks. So now another interesting thing that they did come out with a Mr. Huffle.
Oh my word.
This is a cool one. This has been a relatively good seller, but it's kind of a funny thing that they did an actual Mr. Huffle from a Capaldi story. So that's kind of an interesting one-off oddball thing that they did come out with. So, and
Keith, you'll see on the screen there, we got a donation, £5, which is about $5 American. So we'll have to get that to you for Toys for Tot.
Toys for Tot's my donation. Every kid should have a doctor. So yes, I will, on behalf of Cyborg T100, get you that donation there.
Oh, awesome. Well, that's great. Yeah. You can do that online. It's
just tell me you have PayPal.
Yeah. You just PayPal. It's at whoana@whoana.com.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's redundant. whoana@whoana.com. You don't have to remember anybody's name or anything. One of the interesting things that kind of was an oddball thing, and the Funko Pop line has been really interesting. There have been some really interesting ones, but the common of the 13th Doctor doesn't have her coat. And the one that has the coat was an exclusive at a Comic-Con, one of the San Diego Comic-Con. And so that one is incredibly expensive and hard to get a hold, and everybody wants it because how often do you see her without her coat? You don't really see her often without her coat. So we literally have, tons of these because nobody really wants this one. They want the other one, which costs more than $100 to get a hold of now. I mean, the Funko Pop is just really weird. Some of them are worth a fortune and others are worth nothing. So kind of interesting how that plays.
It's similar to Sonic's, like Matt Smith's Sonic screwdriver, minimum of $100 on Amazon. At least that's what I've seen. I actually got mine from Wish, so I could have a Sonic screwdriver, but it was one of those. It's just like, oh, we're gonna be running out there.
On our website,
there's a Jody's joke about Jody's screwdriver in there somewhere in Wish.
Yeah, I don't have any more Jodys left. Those are gone.
Is there anything? Horror Host Graveyard says, "Is there anything you refuse to carry?" Like, oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, there's probably some stuff there's stuff I skip. Or I've really declined more because I don't want to get stuck with it. You
Fair
know,
enough.
it's like sometimes the marketing into things, I nothing's popping into my head right this minute, but I chose not to carry a lot of the big chief figures, the larger figures, not because they're not good. They are good. Okay. The big chief figures are great figures, but because I didn't want to get caught in the situation with high-end figures of people nitpicking the flaws on them and having to deal with returns on them. Because that's what happens with high-end figures. People expect them to be absolutely flawless. And I think it was the War Doctor release that had problems with the head sculpts and cracks. And once I found out about that aspect of one particular line, I think, like I said, I think it was in the Big Chief of the War Doctor release. And how it was causing a whole, fiasco for everybody who was dealing with it. I try to avoid the high end stuff because it just gets really hard to deal with the people on that end of things. I let other stores deal with that. This was the item I was talking about earlier, that plush set that I ended up. And yeah, we still got these things at $19.95, which, like I said, is a lot less than they cost us. I mean, these things were supposed to be like $49.95.
Oh my god.
But,
well, if they ever bring them back, maybe that might be worthy. They just had like 2 episodes and that was it. And,
yeah. Now figures. Now of the action figures, I mean, if you're talking about like, action figures I absolutely despise and hate, the Peg Soldier is probably my despise hate figure of all time in the action figure line. So Peg Soldier, that's the one I think is absolutely.
Baldy says he'll give you $3 for the Dalek sets.
Yeah, no. The Dalek sets are staying at the price they're at. I mean, long time.
Gotcha.
But,
got a few minutes before the end of the episode. Baldy continues. I bought a Doctor Who TARDIS embroidered dressing robe in Australia. It was over 200 plus 70 for postage. I bought it from the BBC shop in Cardiff, England for $50 Australian with free postage. Winner chicken.
Yeah, that's incredibly good because I think the last one we sold was $250. So yeah, that's excellent, and that was in store. So
you're gonna get a good laugh, Dave. I was actually offered, and it was actually a serious transaction, $1,000 for my traveling TARDIS.
Oh,
but it came with. Well, I had to give up everything, like the Facebook page, any signature, like anything. Which most of the pictures I've taken. So just like, with my phone. So I didn't have original. I have original prints, but not that many. No, I didn't. No, I turned it down. But just like, wow. But I would have been $1,000 sure. And I'm just like, anybody's offering me $1,000 for the traveling TARDIS. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, the TARDIS itself, that's almost what the signatures are on there are worth.
Don't remind me. I'm sure.
Here's one thing that we bought that I wish we didn't. We bought 10 of the Zappies Ride-In Daleks. Now, that sounds really cool. It's an inflatable Dalek with a little plastic thing that a child would sit in. But the problem with it is that British children are much smaller than U.S. children. So you might be able to get an infant into one of those, but you can't even get a toddler, U.S. toddler, into that thing. It is that small. It is ridiculously small. And by the time we paid shipping and everything, the retail on them is like $300 or whatever it is. I mean, it's really cool, but it's just, it's So those are one of those things that, I shouldn't have done it. I did it. Oh well.
make bigger on the inside, please.
Yeah. It was just one of those things that, hey, I made the there's things that you afterwards you're like, man, I shouldn't have bought that many, but I did, and it took years and years to get rid of some stuff, but we still have it when everybody else doesn't, which is kind of funny. We got walls of figures and everything like that. And, the sad thing about like being back in the day, we could get Doctor Who action figures relatively cheaply because they were coming in through a U.S. distributor, and they were coming directly from China to the U.S. They weren't going through the UK. So the cost was reasonable. when the whole action figures line started out with character options. But then with things like the B&M exclusives, of course, we have to pay retail. We have to pay somebody to get them for us. We have to pay them to ship them to us, and then we have to make enough to where we. So in the end, yeah, they're so much more expensive than they were before, which really is kind of a sticker shock, I think, for a lot of people. That, you know, hey, how come I got to spend this much money for a figure that doesn't? But that's kind of the, you know, that's kind of the situation we're in right now. We're trying to get a hold of it, but we got to spend a lot of money to get it, because there's, like I said, there's very little left in the United States, and there's really no U.S. distribution. We got to find it in the UK, and we can find a supplier in the UK who will deal with us directly. It's great, but a lot of them have license restrictions. They're not really allowed to ship to us, so we've got to have a middle person go and pick up the stuff, because that was like you were talking earlier about the exterminate game. Yeah, the license didn't allow them to bring that in the United States. They had to find workarounds to be able to do that. So,
well, folks,
I am frustratingly well aware.
Yeah.
But folks, we've come to the end of our episode. Happy holidays to you all. Please stay safe out there. Tell everybody one last time, Keith, where they can find WHO North America and what they can do when they visit your website right there.
Yeah. Visit our website at whona.com. It's a full e-commerce site, so you can use your credit cards, PayPal, or whatever to purchase things, or you can visit us in store here in Canby, Indiana, which is right outside of Indianapolis. We're not far from the Indianapolis airport. We do have people who actually Uber over if they got a layover in Indianapolis, because we're only 15 minutes from the airport, and getting in and out is pretty quick. So we'd love to have you come see us if you're ever in the area.
Thank you so much for Keith for joining us again. For those of you who may join us later on in the show, don't forget right now, subscribe youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Help us get us to our goal of 3,000. I made that number up because we already hit our goal of 2,500 by the before the end of this year. And you know, the more the merrier. We are grateful for everybody who joins with us, and we want to thank you. It's love to see you every week. Follow us on Facebook. Facebook.com, the Traveling TARDIS. We're almost up to 65,000 subscribers. We want to thank you there. Again, if you're stressing out, give our friends a call, 1-800-273-TALK or 1-800-273-8255 or text 988. If you're feeling stressed out, get somebody, just talk to somebody. You know, let them know that you need help out there. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Next week, I got to confess, we will have an episode. I have no idea what the hell we're doing. we are picking, we're randomly picking, either we're going to review a Christmas Big Finish audio, which could include Relative Dimensions, or I think Santa Claus with Colin Baker. That was a choice that we're going to be making. Either that.
Blood on Santa's Claus.
Yep, we're definitely going to have a year-end wrap-up review, or we may be playing Worlds Apart, just to see if we can kill each other again. And you may be able to either play with us or decide who's going to be playing with, who's going to go matching up head-to-head. But we're going to be taking it easy, because the following week we will be taking the last Tuesday of the year off for our families to be together as well. But the content won't stop, because we will be continuing our 25 days of Whomas up until December 25th. Plus, we have something very special from our friend Simon Fisher Becker, who we asked to do something for us, and he pulled through. And we are possibly going to be releasing it on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day for everybody as a gift to us. So, everybody, go ahead. And the last minute thoughts, everybody. David, Mark.
Well, let's we have a quick question.
Yeah, Mark. Quick question. Go for it.
Okay, evaluation of Doctor Who, probably like online. I typically have not done anything like that. Although I have done a couple TikTok videos where I show an item and something like that. So I have done that. Are you talking? Give me a more specifics. What are you thinking?
I guess he wants you to do maybe reviews on your website, like product, okay. When we do an episode, we do 1 for 10, 1 being bad, 10 being great. You know, give an idea of what you think. Is it worth it? Okay. We'll get the product. Just an idea.
Yeah, that's.
I think we just started this segment now for.
I've done a few live streams, but I don't really get a lot of people watching my live stream, so I haven't really, committed to doing a lot of live streams. But if that's something people are interested in, let me know, and you can always email me at whona@whona.com with ideas, and I am open to suggestions because I'm here all day doing the work.
Keith, thank you for coming up on whona.com.
Yeah.
Tom Kosak, you can check him out, the Reverend Amagon, on his YouTube channel, and also Dave Chapman over here, therathole.ca/Christmas. Again, next week, our holiday episode, and I have no idea what we're doing. So it's going to be special for everybody. And don't forget, we are going to have something very special for.
I've got a new Christmas trivia game. I can throw some Christmas stuff in.
Like I said, we're going to discuss it. We're taking it easy. If we play the Worlds Apart, we may be on for 2 hours. I don't know. It's a possibility. So this episode is just going to be completely laid back, Keith. It's going to be completely nuts. It's going to be us just having a great time, not knowing what we're doing, but we're going to wrap up the year, talk about everything. We also got conventions coming up. So everybody, again, please stay safe out there. Thank you for joining us and becoming part of the legend. And again, you need to talk to somebody, please do so. Go ahead and make that phone call, make that text. Please take care of yourselves. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you next week when we wrap up 2022 here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. The only reason why I'm delaying is because I can't find the end screen.
Shock.
So nobody tell Melanie. All right, everybody, don't forget to say goodbye in the chat. I know she is. I know. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you all.
Happy holidays.